Dr. Hilda Nabiswa. Welcome to the Diabetes Doctor channel. As usual, we talk about everything diabetes. Today, I have fantastic guests with me today. Very special people. I'll allow them to introduce themselves.
Hi guys, thank you for joining us. My name is Newton Gogi.
Hi guys, my name is Josephine Wambui.
And I'm Naomi Nyiha.
I am Brian Ekodele.
And we are from the
Young Unsweet Podcast.
Yes, the Young Unsweet. Unsweet. You get it? You get it?
Yes.
Yeah. It can take a second to load, yeah? So, thank you so much for gracing my channel. I really enjoyed working with you on the podcast. Guys, if you have not listened to this podcast, the link will be in the description box below. We had such a fantastic time discussing diabetes. The Young Unsweet Podcast. Now, someone please tell me, what is this and how did you even form this group?
Yeah, so thank you, Sana Daktari, for bringing us on board. We are glad that you were able to join us today. So the Young Unsweet Podcast was born sometime last year. So we came about with the decision because living with the condition, as the people outside there, we wanted to show to the world what we are experiencing. So we used to get radio sessions on TV, on mainstream media generally, but now the hype was around when the activities of diabetes were being reflected on. So we asked ourselves as friends and as colleagues living in this condition, can we have a platform to showcase? Because once we do, like, we know that November is usually the World Diabetes Month, but once November goes, we're going to December. Now people forget the diabetes aspect, but this thing is a lifelong condition for us. So we sat down with my colleagues, Josephine, Naomi, and Brian, and others to come about with this platform. So in this space, we are very safe in the aspect of sharing how we are feeling, the experiences we have.
Yeah.
You know, no one understands this condition more than us.
Yeah.
We have our doctors, we have our clinics and all that, but this one is more of an online support group.
Yeah.
Whereby we share what we have experienced and how we can be able to change that. So as long as we keep moving this way, we will have so much experience to show and also create awareness in the long run, because we cannot wait for every time for these shows in the radios and the TV. They are important, but they are very episodic.
Yeah.
Once we have them, once it's done, we go back to normal business.
Yes.
You see? So the airtime is focused on other things, but now we wanted to focus on something that we can do. And to be honest, it's not been even an year, but we have done so much.
Wow.
Our 8th episode is about to drop, and Daktari joined us.
Yeah. I was astounded. But I am very proud of you. Yani, you guys are doing such a fantastic job. I must say, I'm really proud of all of you. So nyi wote mko na type 1 ama kuna wengine type 2? Ama your group is all type 1?
Yeah, so
Genetically type 1.
yeah, generally type 1, because the context was to look at young people living with the condition.
Yeah.
So we are facing challenges which are common.
But nowadays there are young people who are getting type 2.
Yes.
So do you also incorporate them in your program ama bado? Bado?
But you see,
Kidogo.
the distinction also, the distinction of young people living with diabetes, it's not so much noticed, yeah? So anyone living with diabetes and they are young,
Can come. So
they are
in
welcome to
short,
join.
it does not matter what type of diabetes, as long as people are young, they can share in your experiences.
Yes.
Very good. That's good to know.
Yes.
So maybe let me ask you, Josephine, what are the challenges? Ni challenges gani ambazo umeface yourself as someone living with diabetes? For how long have you had diabetes, first of all?
This is my 17th year.
Wow.
I was diagnosed in the year 2005. So it hasn't been a smooth sailing, but I thank God because I've mitigated through the challenges. So, you know, the hard part was trying to fit in. You know, when you're growing up, you have different peer groups. So you want to fit in different groups. So as an adolescent, you don't want to feel different from others. You want to be the same as others because of the peer pressure. So it wasn't easy. At a time, it became so tiresome that I didn't want to inject, because, you know, I have to inject. We are powered by insulin. So every day you have to inject yourself with insulin. So at a point, I felt it was tiresome, it was difficult, it became boring. Yeah, every day you have to inject. So I just stopped injecting at some point. Then I went to a point where I suffered DKA, diabetes, acidosis. So then So those are the challenges.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't feel like you want to you don't want to use this medication.
Yeah.
Then there's stigmatization among your peers because it's awkward if someone finds you injecting yourself. And also again, you want to fit in, so you don't want anyone to know you have a condition. You want to behave like you are perfect. Yeah. So, and sometimes as I was going to university and college, that's now the problem where it is.
Yeah.
So I wanted to fit in. So watu wakipati, you also want to party.
Yes.
So watu wakifanya vitu zingine, they are doing, you also want to do. Or utaki to be left out.
And might I ask, what made you change? What brought about that change for you to realize that, hey, I have to get back control of my diabetes?
Okay, so it's just accepting your condition. You know, before I didn't accept it. But now when I accepted my condition, I knew it's not going to leave. I'm not going to get healed. This is a condition. So I wanted a long life.
Yeah.
So just decided, this condition is with me. So I just have to embrace it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And congratulations for that, Josephine.
Thank you.
I think that's one of the things, challenges, even not just type 1, but even type 2, even the older people. You might think that it was only something that you passed through because you were young, but I have seen people in their 60s who just still do not want to accept. My own grandfather, I will make sure he watches this because I know he is 90 years old and sometimes he wants to eat because he became diabetic at 83. So it was very difficult for him to start changing his lifestyle. Yes. So thank you for bringing that up. And
by the way, I also have a daughter.
Oh, wow. Yeah. How old is she?
4 years.
Amazing. So that is the full, rich life that we are trying to show everyone, that a diabetic can have a fulfilling life wholesomely. Sindio? Yes. You can have kids, you can do exercise, you can do everything. It does not matter whether you have diabetes or not, as long as you accept yourself. Yeah. That's a very, very good testimony from you, Josephine. So, Brayo, yes. How many years have you had diabetes for?
Not long ago, 2016. It's about 7 years or... If my mathematics is right.
Is right. Ebu tuambie, what uli diagnosed? How were the circumstances? Ilipatikanaje?
I was in campus then. It started by having some weird symptoms. I was really feeling thirsty.
Yeah.
I was going to the washroom after every, let's say, 10 minutes every now and then.
Yeah.
That time I was in attachment somewhere here in Nairobi.
Yeah.
So the stigma of going to the washrooms every now and then, taking the key from the secretary, it was really depressing on my side.
Yeah.
And I used to have a lot of muscle pulls. And that's all. Thirst, going to the washrooms, then I lost a lot of weight from I think 78 to 61 within a span of 3 weeks.
Wow.
So it was really bad for me.
You lost 17 kilos in 3 weeks?
In 3 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. Hey,
so
okay.
Everyone was really asking me what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I was stigmatized. I called my dad. Then from then, I think my dad had an idea of what is happening. So we went to the doctors, and that's when my journey started.
Okay.
Yep.
How was it when you were first told, hey, this is diabetes? What went through your mind?
At first, my sister is a medic. So before we went to the doctor, I texted her, told her about my symptoms. She told me, hey, Brayo, uko na diabetes.
Brayo's sister, by the way. Brayo's sister.
Not in a bad way. Akaniambia you have diabetes. So, it's the hard truth. At that time, sikuwa najua anything about diabetes.
Yeah.
So nikakuwa admitted for around 4 days because I was in DKA. So eventually zikakuja sawa, then I started insulin, but it was so hard explaining. The doctors had to explain to me, showing me videos, showing me books about diabetics and stuff. But later on, I visited so many doctors trying to understand the situation, what I was going through.
Yeah.
But eventually I had to accept it, and here we are.
Wow. Yeah. And you look so good, let me tell you. Yeah. Iko 17 kilos zimerudi.
Ziko sawa.
Very good, very good. But umesema that you've gone through many doctors, you've seen very many healthcare providers so far.
Yeah.
So now on the patient side, what can you tell me and my fellow doctors, nurses, etc.? What do you think we can do differently in handling type 1 diabetes patients?
I really appreciate you, doctor. From first-hand experience, my sister is a medic. I really appreciate her. She's in Muranga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't say her name. I think she'll comment later.
Hi, Brian's sister.
Hi, Brian.
She's called Mercy. Hi, Mercy.
Yeah. I really appreciate you, doctors, but kila kitu iko na there's flip coin, kuna kichwa na nyuma. I'll only speak on the negative side.
Okay.
Sometimes you doctors, my view is you need to view us people who are living with diabetes as humans as well, because you find some doctors having that negative approach or conversation with you. You may be coming today with bad readings about your sugars. So there's this doctor who can tell you, talk up, you are really wasting my time. Like you're really demoralized by those kind of words. But if a doctor is your friend, if a doctor really accepts you as who you are, we have challenges in administering insulin, having strict diet and exercise and all this stuff that we usually undergo. So I would like to say that you doctors need to view us as humans and try to mentor or guide us in the right manner, not just using bad words or something that can really demoralize you as a patient.
Okay.
And another thing is that we should, you doctors, as much as in Kenya, most doctors don't, not most, I think there's a distinction between doctors, medical practitioners, nurses. Sometimes, I don't know how to generalize it, but either you can find in anyone in any field, but he doesn't understand what the term diabetes type 1 is. Some people tend to literally misadvise you. You can go to a hospital, you tell a doctor, I'm diabetic. Then one doctor once told me that, kijana mdogo kama wewe, unapata aje diabetes? Wow. I really created a scene in that hospital because he is my mentor then. I expect this person to know what really is happening to you, rather than you, when you unashangaa what is happening to me. So I was really frustrated in that occasion. And so I think in hospitals or health centers or wherever you practice, you should have the right people to care for the people coming in, not general diabetics, but any patient. Because with the wrong information, you can really misdiagnose somebody, and we all know the dangers of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Actually, I'm thinking when any doctor is dealing with any patient with chronic disease, they affect their mental health.
True.
So the approach should be very smart, because you don't want to add depression and other mental health issues on top of what they have.
You have raised very important points. Actually, what Josephine is talking about, it's important for us to know up to 50% of people with diabetes have depression as well. It's just that sometimes you can't know it. And so it's important for us as healthcare providers to always screen people with diabetes for mental health issues, anxiety, depression. Remember, 50% is a very high figure, and we are missing many, many of them. So that is very true. And as Brian said, we need to treat patients with empathy. And remember that these are people who are going through the difficult processes, and whatever process it is, we are there to support them. So thank you for that feedback. That's very, very good feedback for us as doctors. So Nyiha, you've been quiet.
Just here thinking.
You're thinking?
Yes. In all honesty, I think apart from now the parents, family and friends, even the caregivers, you as, let me just call you caregivers, you play a major part in our lives. It's a major role in our lives. So when someone is like attacking you instead of helping you to embrace your new condition now, because now imagine from not knowing what diabetes is, or not knowing what needles are every now and then, to now changing your whole life 360. You have to inject every time, you have to take your RBS, that is random blood sugar readings, because now when you're told you're diabetic, your life changes.
Yeah.
360. It
Yeah.
takes a 360 time.
Yeah.
It's a 360.
Yeah.
It's lifetime.
Yeah. So I think in as much as you say other people contribute to maybe our mental health issues, I think even I don't want to call them the inhumane caregivers, but
There's some.
there are some who, of course,
Yes,
of course.
yes, I
Because
get
I remember in an instance, there's this boy, he was 8 years, and I think he was going through that denial stage. And then when they went to the clinic, he had a RBS of 12, 13, I can't really remember. And now this I don't know if he's a nurse or let me just say a clinician, who was attacking him, telling him, do you want to die? Do you want me to cut your leg because of high sugar? Imagine maybe the kid is facing trauma in school and stigmatization in school, and then the place where he can feel safe is where he's also being attacked. So I think apart from now the society, the clinicians should really maybe mpatiwe ka training on how to approach.
That is true. That's actually a very
Patients.
good point. Yes, how to approach patients who are dealing with chronic diseases, how to approach patients in an empathetic manner, where we should also feel what you're going through.
Yeah.
That's a very good suggestion. And unfortunately, let me give you a small secret. We are not given that training in medical school. So that's probably why you.
You don't have to undergo training to be humane to somebody.
But sometimes you need to be given practical steps,
Yeah.
because you see, most of these people do not know they're being inhumane.
Yeah.
They really do not know. So it's important for us. It's just the way you can be taught PR, how to get a customer from the time they come in to the time they leave. That's how we should also get the training as well. So what you've raised is a very important point.
Yeah, so they should if I go there with high blood sugars, first ask me, why do you have these sugars? Why are sugars so high?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm facing other issues that are not diabetic related, but because I'm diabetic, now everything surrounds it.
Yes.
So I think they should really approach us in a very friendly way, especially to kids. Because now you can imagine a class 3 pupil and I face that kind of stigmatization in school, and then Dr. Wake akuja na kumwambia.
Yeah, it can be quite difficult, I can imagine. Well, thank you for those tips, you guys. I mean, you're really teaching us a lot. I'm feeling like I'm the one who should be writing down the points. So I had a question regarding the relationships that you form, whether it is relationships at work or romantic relationships. Is there anyone who might want to tell us how has diabetes affected your relationship with other people?
Maybe I can say.
Yeah.
So I think a friendship relationship.
Yes.
If there's something like that, if it's a word.
Yeah.
I think it really affected me since diagnosis, because now when I was diagnosed, I didn't come out about my condition, so I had to cut people off before I now let my condition sink and of course adapt to all these changes. And then after now accepting my condition, and I came open about my condition, that is through advocacy, posting on social medias, and then people are giving me this negative vibes, telling me, you'll die soon, it's for the old, nyinyi matajiri, that's why you have diabetes. You see,
wow,
those kinds of things. I'm already dealing with a lot myself, dealing with diabetes peke yake, and then maybe school and other things. So I don't need your that one. Wow. I don't need those negative vibes. So what I had to do for the sake of my mental health and my peace of mind, I just cut them off.
And I think that's the best approach. When you're in such a when we're in such a space, you need all the positivity you can get. If there's anyone who's bringing negative energy, just cut them off.
I think it's good to cut people off if they are really if they are meddling with their tampering with their mental health. Because I think from one negative comment and then unanyamazia and then another one unanyamazia, another one unanyamazia, hiyo ndio inafanya mtu apate depression. Because now all this kuna time itakuhate, tunasemanga the 3 AM thoughts, inakuhate very bad, such that una feel too, I'm not worth being here in this world, because now everyone is seeing me, I'm very different from them, ama because they're seeing me ni kama I'm a burden or something. Especially now I'm talking from experience because I was diagnosed in high school, and this is something I've faced, stigmatization from teachers and from my peers. So I think you should just cut people off. Kama alikuwa nakusaidia na anything, let's say for example in high school, maybe ulikuwa huko unafua nguo, so unaenda kama una nguo ya kuvaa anakusaidia nayo, but still anakupatia negative vibrations, just cut them off. Hautakosa nguo ya kuvaa the next time.
Were you in boarding school or day school?
Boarding. I was diagnosed in Form 2.
In Form 2 in boarding. And did they change? What did they do? What kind of diet? For example, were they taught on what you need to eat when you were in boarding school, Ama? You just found yourself?
No, I was like the one who's teaching them. I should eat this and this. I should not do this and this. I need this and this meals like that. So I think I was like the one teaching them.
Wow.
But the good thing about it, the principal, the deputy, the guitarist, the matron were really on my side.
Good.
So
that's
now the stigma came from other teachers
and students.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
So maybe also in a relationship we can look in the aspect of course we are living in this condition, but also as patients we are empowered. We are empowered in the space of education, in the space of this diabetes supplies and all that. So our relationship, even as persons living in this condition, you need to have at least 3 contacts in your phone who you can call in case you have an emergency. So I tell people in this, for example in Kenya, people, if you look at the phone book of the average Kenyan, akona namba ya msee wa nduthi, akona namba ya msee wa maji, akona isi, but you are living in the condition, hauna namba ya mtu wa. So you have to create a relationship with these people living with this condition. So for example, the way we are seated here, if I was not living with the condition, singejua Josephine angejua na Naomi. This podcast ambayo tumefanya haingekuwa, it would not have been born. So we want to empower ourselves. Yes, we are living with the condition, but you can be a football player, you can be a president, you can be a soldier, you can do all those things. So the relationship also changes your mindset. Because I remember when I was with the condition, it gave me a perspective on how life is. I realized that your body can handle anything. It is the mind that you have to convince. So at the end of the day, that is what we want to preach out to the gospel. Once we do that, and I go from here to the next stage here, Baba, I'm good. So that is basically what we are trying to do.
That is amazing.
Actually, what I'm thinking is relationships will always be there unless you are an island man living alone. But either way, even if you cut off people, you will meet other people. So what you need to do is empower, educate, because most of these people with negative energy, it's because they are unaware about the condition. They don't have that education. Then accept your condition. If you accept your condition, then other people will accept you with your condition.
True.
Because again, even if you cut off people, you can't live alone. Then open up about your condition. So you are going to be able to live with other people.
Amazing. Brian?
I'll speak in regard to workplaces. I think we as people living with type 1 diabetes, we have an art of secrecy. We all know that. Because when you have that insulin pen or whatever injection you have to do yourself, you can't, maybe you're new at our workplace, you can't tell everyone or anyone that you are diabetic because you never know how they'll react, how they'll take you. So most of us or all of us tend to have that when we want to go to have a short of injection, we have to have privacy kidogo, and we go to the washrooms or somewhere private for ourselves, then we inject, then come and eat with the others. So my advice will be, in any workplace, if you're new, don't be in a rush to tell everyone or anyone that, unless maybe the contract or whatever you are signing up, you have to conceal your health status. But if not, you have to be smart enough to evaluate people, because not everyone that smiles at you can he's your friend or she's your friend. So I think you should gauge whoever you're telling, at least know the kind of person and expect the worst, because she or he can either accept the way you are or be a different person in a negative way. So,
but at least one person at the
at
workplace
least,
should be aware.
especially if you speak to your boss.
Yes.
And that's your boss, at least anajua the characters of people working with him. So maybe atajua, maybe somebody else is diabetic, but amenyamazia pia. So maybe he will link you with that person or anyone who at least is empathetic, or somebody who was akona ile roho ya kukaa na mtu vizuri without discriminating.
Lakini do you know we get stigmatization during interviews, job interviews. If you disclose that you're diabetic, you know, there is this thinking that diabetes is a disability. So most of the time you won't get that job because they are thinking most of the time you'll be out of work.
You'll be in hospitals.
So again, I don't think it's wise to disclose that
at that time.
But then at the end of the day, it's a matter of that shows that there is work to be done.
Exactly.
In creating awareness. So if we do the work, even the people living in the condition will have a safe space.
Exactly.
Because in my CV I see that I'm living with a condition. But that does not mean that handle me
You've
with
written
care.
that in your CV?
Yes, I've written that in my CV. That does not mean that you handle me with care. I'm not like that box of glass.
So you actually prove to them that yes, I'm diabetic, but I am able to work just like everyone.
Just like that, So that is a perception. People will wonder, how come you're so confident? How come you're so brave? Are you like bragging? I'm like, no. You will take me as I am.
But I don't know why people have this notion of you're bragging when you're out there educating people about your condition. Because someone commented, I posted something and he was like, I saw someone else posting about diabetes and how she manages her condition and stuff and then he concluded by saying, but I think you guys really like bragging and it's like you are okay with you having that condition and it's like mnaitaka sana, and I was like, come on, so maybe kukueducate ni kubrag, but you're different.
There is this famous saying, a madman's dance. It's only funny when it's not in your family.
True.
So that's the best way, because we have parents, siblings, sisters, and eventually, kama mtu they affected directly or indirectly. But unless ikifika ile time yenye it affects you, then you'll know the essence of why we're here.
Wow. So guys, it has been such a wonderful time having you on my channel. I mean, I think we could go on and on. We have it's like we just scratched the surface. There's so much we would discuss about. We will continue meeting. I'm sure we'll have another time to discuss issues relating to diabetes in your age group. But I still want to commend you for the good work that you're doing. Continue educating people out there. There's a lot of work to be done. And I'm happy to be part of this process with you and this journey with you. So this has been amazing having you here. I think you're all confident, brave, and smart young people. So thank you so much. One last thing, as you can see, we have very beautiful t-shirts. So these are Young Unsweet t-shirts, YU. So please hook up, you can follow them on their channel, Young Unsweet, and be able to find all their merchandise, buy their merchandise, support them. They're doing a fantastic job. Kindly help these guys out. They're doing a good job. Thank you. Yes. I've enjoyed having you here.
Thank you very much. Ours is a marathon, right?
Yes.
The diabetes marathon
continues. Well done. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.